So guys, the crypto markets are down nasty. They're actually down very, very bad. One of the worst days we have seen since the whole FTX fiasco. And it's just really, really crazy to see everything down so much. Bitcoin down overall like 6% today. At the beginning of the day when I woke up, it was down like 8-9%, along with all other altcoins like Pepe and everything being down 50%. More honestly in a few other altcoin cases. But overall, the crypto markets are taking a huge hit just because of the news events, liquidations in the stock market, as well as the Japan stock market taking a huge hit, and then a few other news events and catalysts having an effect over Bitcoin, and as a result, our altcoins are getting affected. So in today's episode, I want to talk about the negative sentiment in the crypto markets, news around Bitcoin, what's going on, what's causing everything to dip, what this means for altcoins, and what you currently should be doing right now. As a beginner, my altcoin portfolio is down nasty. It's really nasty, down overall over like 40%. But overall, we're gonna get into it and all the other different things. But if you're new to the channel, go ahead and check out the rest of my content. I'm just a beginner in the crypto space, documenting my whole journey, showing you guys my wins, my losses, my crypto portfolio, my perspective on the space, and just everything else in between. But other than that, let's jump into it. So like how I said, the crypto markets are down quite nasty right now. You know, with Bitcoin being down like 6%, you can already tell what's happening with our altcoins. You see all these other ones, you know, I'm really invested into mainly meme coins and, you know, AI coins, which my portfolio is pretty down. I'll go ahead and just show you a quick picture of the altcoin portfolio that I have, and, you know, it taking a huge hit. But, you know, if we take a look at everything, you know, we have big players taking huge hits, and as a result, you know, you have all, you know, even well-established meme coins taking huge pullbacks. And this is just pretty much part of what's going on currently with, you know, the phase of, you know, this crypto cycle that we're in. It's really crazy to see all this red in the market, and, you know, the discounts taking place, and the extreme fear that we're currently seeing in the markets. And this is overall, you know, positive if you have a positive sentiment on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general, and, you know, where we're going to be heading in the next few months. But, you know, in the short term, it's really painful. Anyone that is, you know, really needy for any money that they've invested in the crypto markets, they are, you know, capitulating currently right now, losing a ton of money. Right now is the worst time to be pulling out. If you would have pulled out, you know, maybe a week ago, maybe last week, it would have been, you know, something really good to do. A lot of big players like Warren Buffett, you know, were sitting on cash because I'm sure they were aware of, you know, a huge pullback in the markets, just like what's going on. And like how I said, crypto markets are just the outer edge of what's been hit. The US stock market and the Japan stock market have taken a hit. We're going to take a look at why, but let's go and look at Bitcoin first. So Bitcoin took a nasty drop, guys. Just last week overall, we're trading at around 70,000, and now we're hitting around 54,000. At the beginning of this morning, it was sitting at around 51,000, which was really nasty, and it keeps trading, you know, up and down. Currently right now, everyone's talking about support being around 48,000, just pretty much based off of what we've seen on previous price action and the consolidation phase that is currently going on right now. So I'm thinking that, you know, we might be dropping a little bit lower to around that 48,000 range. That's where support will be. And if we drop even below that, it'll get crazier. But it seems like we're already at the end of, you know, this whole bear sentiment, as well as what's going on with, you know, the stock market in the US as well as Japan. But I honestly don't know too much. All I know is currently right now, this is one of the worst, longest down trending candles we have seen for Bitcoin in a long time. We pretty much lost all the gains that we have made, you know, in these past, I don't know, 120 days. So it's really crazy to see that. And if, you know, you're really committed to the market, now is really a time of accumulation. But let's talk into why the crypto markets are dipping. So, you know, I saw a great post by Alex Wasey. If you guys aren't following him, you should go check him out. He's talking about what's going on in the market. You know, he says, looks like big players are setting up a trap, encouraging people to turn into exit liquidity. And that drop was meant to happen. So what should you expect next? So it pretty much goes into, you know, the massive flash crash that occurred last night, pushing many altcoins to, you know, new lows, like how we were talking about with my crypto portfolio and many other altcoins. Overnight liquidations exceeded 1 billion, with over 90% of them being long. So there's been a ton of liquidations just taking place in the crypto markets in general. So just with all these liquidations going on, it's really having a negative sentiment on everything. Now, we also take a look at, the US stock market. Many believe this is happening against the backdrops of the S&P 500's decline, along with various geopolitical factors I prefer not to discuss. He's talking about, the war and everything, or World War III potentially, and a lot of, drama that's coming out of the Middle Eastern region and multiple other global situations. As a result, this is negative on the markets, and everyone's talking about, the negative effects on the crypto markets and on the stock markets. Let's take an actual look into it. So, Ash Crypto, another great guy, great post. Love to see exactly what he's talking about. He gives a brief overview of pretty much the worst market setup in front of us currently that is taking place, the war situation in the Middle East, like how I said, World War III, lots of friction going on, potential for escalation, so that is not looking good. The Japanese stock market is crashing. There's actually a specific reason why that is happening, and we'll jump into it here in a second. Trump's winning odds decreasing from 70% to 52%. Kamala Harris has been sneaking up on him. The Democratic Party has been, scheming really hard, and overall, the sentiment around Trump has been declining, and that's not good for crypto, just because the Republican Party is more favorable for crypto. Jump trading, dumping ETH, lots of different events around that as well. Civil wars in the UK, like I said, global situations all around the world taking place. Unemployment shooting high in the US, higher than anticipated, which was also another bad catalyst event. And then Genesis and Mt. Gox still selling off. I've been hearing about the Mt. Gox, but no one was really talking about the Genesis sell-off that is also taking place, which is, one of the big factors in a lot of the liquidations going on around Bitcoin. And overall, though, at the end of this statement, he still says, but somehow during these worst periods, we often get the best buying opportunity. And right now is a time of accumulation. You should be accumulating while people are capitulating. That's what separates the weak from the strong and the people that are actually going to build generational wealth. So let's jump into another influencer. Miles Dutcher talks about what's going on in the crypto space, reasons why crypto is crashing. Again, the Trump presidency odds are decreasing, which is just not good for crypto in general. Recession fears, which pretty much showing after, a few charts, we are currently might be in a recession already before the US government even deploys it and actually starts stating it to its people. So recession fears are honestly really, really big right now. People are wondering what's going on, especially with the stock market correction that is taking place and the yen unwind that is also going on with the Japan stock market. He's also talking about the geopolitical tensions, the jump unwinding positions with ETH, as well as the Gox distributions, as well as, the Genesis. He also didn't talk about that one. And the recent pump trap fresh longs around Bitcoin that has been currently happening right now. People are losing a ton of money, and then the altcoin dispersion just is, causing altcoins just going down like crazy. It's practically the perfect storm, like how he states at the end of his tweet. We have all these events going on. It's just a whole bunch of negative catalyst events that is just the perfect storm to bring everything crashing down. So these news events, while they are temporary, they are causing a huge shift in the markets currently. If we jump into, why the Japan stock market is dropping down and the US stock market as well, the sharp rise in the Japan yen and the US dollar is causing a massive unwind of yen carry trade positions and contributing to the sharp decline in US stocks. For those who do not understand how this works, a brief explanation. So let's jump into it. So many traders were borrowing Japan yen, at low interest rates and converted them into USD and used these to buy US stocks. Now that the Bank of Japan is raising interest rates, the Japan yen has strengthened significantly against the US dollar. So this was a strategic route, and people were also borrowing too much against the yen. So it actually worked out for Japan, but this actually isn't working out too well for the United States. Now these traders are in a big shift. Not only must they pay higher interest rates for the Japan yen that they borrowed, but they are now facing huge forex losses as well. The USD assets they are holding may not be enough to repay the Japan yen they have borrowed. This is causing a huge unwind of these trade positions. Traders facing big losses and margin calls are selling their US stocks to raise USD, converting back to Japan yen and paying back their loans. So people are liquidating what they have in the stock market just to pay back all their losses on what they have currently longed. And there's multiple different variations of that, and also people just being fearful in the market based off of the price action around everything. This can lead to more selling pressure on US stocks and even more declines in the short term. Middle East war escalation, US political uncertainty is also adding to the fear and panic. As an investor, this is great news because this time of short-term crisis and panic is what gives me the opportunity to scoop up high-quality US stocks at bigger and bigger discounts. Take advantage of temporary mispricing caused by short-term crisis. This is how we get richer. This is crazy stuff, guys. You know, as a crazy investor, I'm not too sure of Adam Koo, but I love his perspective on, you know, why this is happening around the Japan stock market and the United States. It's a great brief explanation, and not only that, it gives you an understanding of what's going to be happening in the next few days, next few weeks, just with all the price and sentiment around it. But as an investor, someone that is, you know, investing on this stuff, it's good to take advantage of opportunities like this when everything is going down. Like how I said, the weak are going to be separated from the strong. So the people that are committed and actually buying right now are going to be able to build generational wealth. So let's jump into a meeting that was supposedly, you know, talked about. The Fed to call an emergency meeting today regarding interest rates after the Japan stock market collapsed. Rate cut probability hits 100% for September. Now, when I saw this, I was wondering, you know, will they just call, you know, a Fed cut automatically? Apparently this happened around 2020, 2021, whenever COVID hit and they needed to drop, you know, those interest rates, especially with everything that was going on in the economy at the time. So right now could be one of those times. But I also did see another person that I currently do follow and I, you know, really respect. His name is Rand Neuner, and he talked about, you know, right here, he says, the Fed has not called for any emergency meetings. Please don't believe the garbage. We are one day into the unwind, and the Fed will wait to see how it plays out. All the results is BS, engagement farming. So I'm thinking that, you know, that might just be an engagement farm from that guy. But then he also goes on to say all the Fed and US Treasury need to do is indicate that they are ready to step in and this whole thing is over. So honestly, they probably haven't indicated it, and that's why he is saying, you know, people are probably just doing that to generate fluff, to generate, you know, some engagement on their post. But if the, you know, US Fed was to step in, it could indicate that, you know, all this would go down because they would drop those interest rates, causing stocks and everything to, you know, have some breathe room, and then from there our crypto will also get that liquidity, and from there we can start to actually pump. But overall, Rand Neuner also talked about his predictions for the crypto markets currently. He says the worst is over, specifically for the Nikkei. By that he means that markets could still go down, but today was the biggest candle down. 2, US market won't melt down. The close will be better than 2.5% for the day on the NASDAQ. 3, there's no Fed emergency meeting, even after the markets are up 20% on NASDAQ this year. 4, we're definitely getting a rate cut in September. It won't be 50 BPS. Let's see how many I am right on here. And then it's funny because as I was getting ready to post this video, he already talked about how the NASDAQ is already down only 2.5%. And it's because everything is going to, you know, hit, you know, a peak bottom, but then at the end of it, it's going to retrace, especially, you know, the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 and Bitcoin and all the strong assets in the crypto markets, as well as the US stock markets, the Japan stock market, and multiple other assets. But currently right now, guys, I think you need to be taking advantage of this time. Miles Dutcher made a great post talking about what he thinks, you know, he should be doing right now and what everyone should be currently doing right now, you know, and it's in one simple post that I love. Buy into fear, sell into fear of missing out. People are always going to be buying whenever everything is peaking up, just because the positive sentiment is going to get at everybody and everyone's going to have a fear of missing out. But whenever everything is fearful, whenever everything is down in the dumps and bad, like how we are right now, nobody wants to buy. Nobody wants to buy anything because they're so fearful about what is to come. And you know, you have to be committed into the markets, especially if you're invested into altcoins, guys. You're going to have these pullbacks. That's why we have such crazy explosive moves for these coins. It's It's because they have the possibility to go down, 50 to 90%. And whenever you get into this game, you got to understand that's part of the equation. But at the end of the day, I think right now you should be taking advantage of this time. I'm buying the dip. I'm still currently buying. I don't have that much USD that I could just spend on crypto at the moment, which is, quite sad. I wish I would have sold about a week ago. So congratulations to you guys who did. But overall, right now is a time to take advantage. The people that build generational wealth, the people that build, the crazy foundation before everybody else, is the people that believe in the markets, believe in whatever they are investing in before, the masses come. And right now is a time that defines those people from the rest. I'm currently investing. I'm sticking to my bags. I'm not selling anything. And, I'm currently just riding the wave. It's a crash right now, guys. It's quite nasty. And I would be lying to you if I told you I don't care about anything that's going on. It's quite nasty to see your portfolio drop 40%, 60%. But whenever you have, the vision, what's going to be happening in the markets and, the growth and price action around Bitcoin in the next coming years, decades, we're going to be somewhere really, really crazy. And our altcoins also are going to be really, really crazy in the next coming months once the election is going on. There's stimulation in the economy because dang well these US presidential candidates are not going to let the US economy be down whenever they are running their presidential election. So we have a whole bunch of news that is going to be happening, a lot of stimulation that is going to be going into the markets. And if you're not taking advantage of these down periods, you are truly missing out. But I'm going to keep you guys updated on the crypto markets, what I'm currently doing. Like how I said, I'm just a beginner in the crypto space. I love showing you guys my perspective and everything. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and check out the rest of my content. Like how I said, I show you guys my portfolio, my wins, my losses, my perspective on the space, and pretty much the documentation of a beginner in this crypto cycle. Overall, I'm trying to make a ton of money, trying to 10x my portfolio and my net worth. But we will see what's going to happen in these next few days, next few weeks, next few months. I'll keep you guys updated. I drop daily content every day. So if you guys are new to the channel, drop me a comment, drop me a like, subscribe, leave me something down below. Let me know your perspective on the markets, what you're currently investing in, and if you think I missed something or if you think I need to keep my eyes on something. But overall, like I said, I drop daily content every day. So hopefully I see you guys tomorrow. But other than that, peace.